everybody. I hope you guys had a great week. Today is going to be a different show. And can everybody hear me clearly? Can my guest hear me clearly?
I can hear you clearly.
Okay, perfect. So today is going to be an interesting show. My co-host is not present today due to attending some family relations. And we're going to have a one-on-one with a guest today. So for brief introductions, my name is Jean-Luc. I am one of the co-hosts here. I am a student at the University of Aruba, and I've had an interest in technology, games, and everything related ever since I was a young little boy. And my guest, please introduce us to yourself.
My name is Angelica Pearson, but my tag is Gashina. I've been a Twitch streamer for a little bit and dabble a little bit in gaming and everything in the community, Aruba gaming community here. So yeah.
So, what type of specifically game communities have you been a part of?
I've been morely with Aruba gaming community. We try to put everybody together in one place. Especially Aruba's so small. It's hard to find people who have the same interest in the same area. But mainly I've been part of the VR community.
The VR community?
Yes.
All right, perfect. For those who probably read the title, we are currently going to talk about internet relationships and communities, friendships, even online dating.
Yes.
And they're for almost anybody who's been participating online in any way, shape, or form is already aware that this is a common thing that happens from time to time, right? Online dating.
It's more common than you think it is.
Long distance, yeah. But due to the recent progress that we have made with virtual reality and specific games that allow you to very easily interact with other people in public spaces, as public as they can be in a virtual world, it has led to very interesting communities and situations to aspire between people, even though they never met in real person. So, you have the most experience in a game called VR chat,
yes.
right? How would you explain VR chat to somebody who has no idea what that is?
Well, VR chat, for somebody who has no idea, it's like a social game in a way, because it's mostly you can't play it alone, really. It's not fun alone.
Yeah.
So you are in public worlds, they call it. Public worlds is like anybody can come in, and then anybody can join in, and then you could talk to anybody in the world. There's creators that make worlds, especially for game worlds. You can play Uno. You can play what's the name of that game? Cards Against Humanity. You can do a climbing game, a shooting game. There's mini games in the game as well, but they're not fun alone.
Are there any games that are kind of similar to VR chat?
There are a few, but nothing has has reached the popularity and the capacity as VR chat. There's like something called Helios, Lavender.
Oh.
There's something. Well, VR chat is. You can be desktop, which means you don't need a VR headset, and you could do VR headset. There's, of course, older games like Imvu and Second Life. It's very similar to that.
Second Life.
Remember Second Life?
Well, I had the privilege to watch a brief documentary on Second Life.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
And for those, would you like to explain what Second Life is?
I'm not really sure about it, but it's technically it's a social game. Really.
A social game, yes, and that's now that I'm sitting here talking to you, that is a niche genre of games, actually.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was much younger, a lot of these games were advertised to people back in the day, right? And another lesser known one would be Woo's World. Ever heard about that?
Woo's World.
Woo's World, yes.
I think I heard of it.
Very niche, very niche.
Sounds really niche.
Like Club Penguin.
It's like Club Penguin.
Roblox. Not Roblox.
Roblox actually kind of falls under the same level in a way.
What is the block, like the pixelated block game that's also a social game? What was that one called again?
Voxbox, something like that?
No, not Voxbox. You play it on your browser, similar to Club Penguin.
Blocks, I don't know.
You don't remember?
I don't.
It became famous for the meme, "The pool is closed."
Oh, yes. Oh, Hubba?
Hubbo.
Hubbo.
Hubbo. Yes,
Hubbo.
hubbo.
Hubbo. Yeah, the pool. As soon as you said that,
The
I
pool is
got
closed,
it.
yes.
The pool is closed.
So these games, these social games, is basically a place where the point of the game is to customize an avatar,
Yeah.
enter public spaces that platforms that are decided in the game, and meet and interact with other players in the platform,
Yes.
in the game. And it's in structure, and the point is very similar to social media,
Yes.
except it's gamified. You interact with everything. There are
much.
mini games. You can buy clothing. You can customize your character. You can buy houses.
Yeah.
And the point is to be social in a game environment.
Yeah.
That's what the goal of social games is, right? And a huge limitation back in the day was that, or for most of these games, is that voice chats is usually not even included.
No.
It is only via text. Adding any more context or visual expressions or bodily movements is only limited to what the game designers have included.
Emotes and stuff.
Yes. And so that is what I think VR chats changed.
Yes. It's completely open. Like, there's not really any filters. There's even, like what you said, if you're desktop, you're limited to a few emotes that are either built into the game or built into the model you're wearing.
Yes.
So the model can have so much on it. If you're half body, which just means you only have a VR headset and the hands. That's it. You can move, you can do anything really. Just you can't move the bottom half of your body. Then we have the other tier, which is full body, which is a 6-point tracking. So head, hands, hip, and legs. That one you could see the person like lay down, do a backflip, do anything really.
So to be able to have full body expression within a VR system, you need to get additional trackers.
Yes.
To track the different points of your body so that it translates into the
Yes.
into the in-game model. All right. But let's backtrack a little bit.
Cool.
So Second Life.
Yes.
A thing that I remember that was very innovative of Second Life was that it gave the community, the players, the tools to create in-game assets.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
So there were a lot of in-game clothing, shoes, houses, models, hair, anything that you could think of that were sold and designed by the players.
By the players, yes.
And that created a very dedicated player base and community, of course.
Yeah.
And it allowed for even more expression and customization. And within the documentary I saw, there were people who were making a living by designing these models and clothing within Second Life. And you've mentioned to me that you do something similar for VR chat?
Yes, I do. There is a big community because everything is kind of so customizable in the game. As long as it has a human armature, means the bones match a human-like skeleton that the animation can follow, you can make anything in the game. Personally, I make assets for other people to make models. So my main thing is shoes. I make boots, high heels, and all that. People buy the asset, put it on their model, either for personal use or commercial use.
So people commission you?
You can commission me, yes. I don't do commissions currently, but most people do commissions. And also most people like have a living just doing this, just making models.
Yeah. Fascinating. And this is the reason why I chose this subject is because most people don't know about this side of the world.
Yeah.
Or digital world, to be more specific.
Yeah. It's like selling digital clothes. I'm selling digital clothes. It's something you can never have in hand. It's like an NFT. I can never have it.
Oh, look at you knowing what an NFT is.
It's like I can never have it physically, but I have it digitally on a model.
Yeah. So, briefly explained, for those who don't know, for any viewers who don't know what an NFT is, it stands for non-fungible token. And to put it very, very simply, it involves the technology of smart contracts on the cryptocurrency and blockchains. And it basically ties any digital asset, so literally any digital form of information, and makes that trackable and verifiable on the blockchain.
Yeah.
And what it led to is a lot of digital assets became valuable, trackable, and tradable. And as you mentioned, you make something similar to NFTs, basically giving value to a digital asset. That's amazing.
Fun fact, Gucci has an NFT boot for VR chat.
For VR chat?
Yes, specifically. I think it's like equivalent to like $800.
Gucci designed shoes for VR chat players.
Yes.
Well, look at that.
Yeah. There's actually big companies. So every few months, VR chat collabs with big companies. And I forgot what's it called. I think it's VCAT, I think they're called. And these companies will do like propaganda and commercials in the world. And you can go up to the place and be like, oh, what does this place offer? And I can walk into Disney. And they show completely, it's like online shopping, but you're kind of in the store. So I was like, oh, what's this? It's a full-on like modeled necklace. And I could click on it. And it'll open a browser on my computer and show me how much it is, where I can buy it, how I can order it. I'm like, wow.
all of this done in game.
In game, yes.
Amazing.
You can almost, because you can't. If you see a photo, it's like it's a photo, but they will actually model the object in 3D. So you can be like, okay, it looks nice. I like it. You can see it in 3D space.
Wow. So I think we have given enough background information and context about VR chat.
Yes.
And how crazy it actually is, and how far we've developed.
Yeah.
Because when I got introduced to VR chat was because of a very unique meme. Some people might know it, but it was called the Ugandan Knuckles.
The Ugandan Knuckles meme. Yep.
Yes. And basically, these group of people would have the same model as a parody of Knuckles the Hedgehog from the Sonic series, right? And they would use this very stereotypical, excuse me, good morning, use this very typical stereotypical African accent and ask people if they know the way. Nobody knew what he meant by if they know the way to where. Some people started saying to the queen, or the queen knows.
It
right?
gets every day something got added every time.
But essentially, they would invade these public places as a group. Friendships were created, destroyed with these groups of people, right? And that's literally all. They would click their tongue. Yeah. And they would imagine 20 people would walk into your room and then scream to you, "Do you know the way? Where's the way? Hey, show us the way." And it's crazy.
Yeah, you're just trying to vibe. You're trying to make friends, and then just 20 people, like the size of like your calf, walk in. Just
that was the first impression I had of VR chat, right? Very memey, like the glory days of 4chan, as some people might know.
Oh.
A lot of Instagram meme pages inspired, for example. Yes, very humorous, very non-serious and everything. But the thing that I'm interested to learn about and talk about is the friendships and the relationships and communities, serious communities that form within VR chat. Can you tell me about your experience you've had with that?
Yeah. So it's hard to stick to one. You keep bopping between like communities. You're good with one person, and then something happens, you pop to another. So there's not one stable one. They always keep changing as time goes on. People change, things change. There's a lot of communities. There's people who became friends because they like to drink on Sundays. Yeah. There are the furries, of course.
Of course.
There are the creators. The average Joes. They're those ones just like, they walked into a world, vibed with somebody and be like, let's be friends.
The average player.
The average player, yes. And that's pretty much it, really.
But how do these friendships, these communities happen, and what is it like to be friends with them in a virtual world? an environment.
It runs really fast. Because in real life, when you become friends with somebody, you see them that one time, and then probably you see them again in a week or two, and only for an hour or two.
Yeah.
In VR chat, you get lost at how long you've been in there. So you can work a friendship that took, for a real friend like me and you, would take months to combine. You could do it within one day. Like, because you are there constantly together the whole time.
You don't see the sun going up and down when you have the headset on.
Yeah, like I've been during quarantine. What day it is, I don't know. I just took it off, and it's 10 a.m. I'm like, what have I become? Because I'm like, quarantine, there's nothing I can do. I'm just gonna go on VR chat.
Are you still in contact with some of the people that you have met in VR chat?
Yes, I've been in contact. I even met some IRL as well.
Now that's rare.
Yeah, it's really rare. I know people who have been dating via the site for 3 years.
Via VR chats.
Via VR chat, and they have not met yet.
I have even heard of people getting married in VR chat and they never met.
Well, yes, actually, yes. Well, there's RP marrying, which is role-playing marrying. Like, you're my love, and you're gonna, in game we are married. It's like there's even a world where you can actually do a mock ceremony and have like a vicar, somebody play as a vicar. I've done it before.
Or a priest and anything. Yeah.
I've done it before. It's for fun and stuff. But some people actually do it seriously.
Yeah.
And then be committed. It's like taking another step in making that a VR relationship more of a thing. But yeah, like it gets serious real quick.
It does. But I think also due to the nature of the internet and how fast-paced things are in there, since VR chat is a virtual reality, it retains that pace, it retains that speed. Trends come and go, relationships, people come and go. They might show up for 1 week straight and then vanish for 3 months.
Yeah.
And usually there is no other way to contact them except for when they are online in VR chat.
Yeah.
There isn't a text option, if I remember correctly.
Nope.
Unless you have a specific model that allows for something like that.
There are specific models that would like have a keyboard that will pop up a text. That's an advanced one. There's some that have like a marker in a finger. You can turn it on and you can write.
They write, or they have an actual board that they can write on.
Yeah, I've seen somebody like I've seen that. Or there's some specific worlds that have a text board specifically for mutes. Mutes are something that's popular too.
I remember, yeah.
It's like people who don't talk, but maybe they have full body or they have hands, so at least they can mimic. I even like trying to learn sign language because there's a lot of mutes that speak via sign language to you, and I'm like, oh, that means hello. Oh, he's saying how are you and everything.
So the interesting about models is due to how the controllers work, there are many combination of inputs that you can do with the controller, right?
Yes.
And so for sign language, you would need most of your fingers and motions to be able to sign, right?
Yes.
And an interesting thing that happens, from a quick side note, is that people are learning how to speak sign language in VR chat, to speak in each other in sign. And they can, due to you having an actual in-game model, they can actually do the symbols and signs in there, and it's fascinating.
Yeah, there's specific worlds that you can go to help you learn sign language. Because there's also like, so there's one of the latest headsets, VR headsets, is the Index, which has the knuckles controller, which it holds onto your hand and it can track your fingers, each one. And that helps them actually make the proper... Articulate their proper sign languages. Some models are made with it, so most controllers have a haptic circle in the middle. And
a thumb pad.
1, 2, 3, 4... around 8 gestures can be made. Some people customize the gestures to fit certain like common hand symbols that you can mix with their face, pointing and everything.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
Crazy. But when it comes to relationships, do you know or no having friendships and relationships that are based purely on knowing someone in a virtual world, is that real friendship to you?
In a way, to me, yes. I feel like people I've met in this virtual scape have been more true of a friend to me than people I've known for years.
Because the fascinating thing is that I'm very certain that some of our viewers, our listeners, have of course watched media pertaining to VR chat or interacting in a virtual world, right? But seeing it is much more different than being in there. And it is crazy. You truly are in a room sitting across of somebody who's looking at you, nodding at you, talking to you, and their characters are animated. They are there. When it comes to your sensory inputs, everything is telling you that they are there. And the only thing that's convincing you that they're not is you being aware that you're actually just in your room or whatever VR setup that you have currently going on. And that adds an interesting layer, because not only is it as true to proper social interaction as you can get in a virtual escape, unless we get full body haptic suits and everything. An interesting thing that people always get to is they get to choose how they present themselves. And of course, this will always allow people to not be their true selves, right? And always lie and manipulate, of course. There will always be those
mask,
people. Of course, it is a mask. But I have played VR chat myself for brief moments of time, and I've met an amazing bunch of people. And they're all fun. There are some people who get drunk together in VR chat on Sundays, as you previously mentioned. And I feel like a lot of people in the real world or in reality, in physical reality, are ashamed of how they look, are sad. And it's a shame. It's a real shame. Insecurities are a big issue. And VR chat allows them to present them how they are more confident and more comfortable with themselves. And that would allow them to be more true to themselves and then make true relationships and friendships. Sadly, or for the better, in a virtual world.
Yes.
And that's it's a very, very new thing. How do you know for how long VR chat has been around or online?
I started playing 2018, and I've heard when that started, it was already 2 years old or so. But it was like an alpha or beta, something like that. It was like kind of like only a certain amount of people. But around 2018 did it come out to the public.
So as far as we know, I would check, but currently the background music is on on my phone, so I cannot double check this information. Excuse me. And so as far as we know, 2018 roughly is when it became fully open. Because there was a long period of time of open beta, roughly.
Like an open beta for maybe 2 years or so.
Okay. So it's only been around for a few years already. And they're already having such a profound effect on people's lives.
It helped a lot of people's lives, like especially during Corona. I feel like it helped people's mental state during where you can't have any social contact. It really helped me from not losing my mind.
Wow, I'm glad to hear that. And let's get into serious romantic relationships. How does that work, as far as you are aware? How do they interact with each other?
So, personally, I am in a romantic relationship with somebody I've met in game.
Wow. Have you met this person in real life as well?
No.
Not yet?
Not yet. Because we met during Corona.
Oh.
So, right now, no, we can't go anywhere.
Oh.
But it starts off like anything. It's like you start off as you go somewhere, you meet somebody, you think they're cool. You start hanging out with them, you keep hanging out with them, and you keep hanging out with them, and then you're like, I kind of really like this person. And yeah, it just really like snowballs from there.
And I'm pretty sure that due to basically any world being possible in a virtual reality, I'm sure that going on dates is also something that a lot of couples in VR chat do, right?
Yes. So VR chat, it helps long distance, you can video call.
Yeah.
You can text and all that. But I feel like VR chat helped like kind of bridge that. It's like, I can't be with you physically, but I can imagine, because you're technically in game, you are physically next to me.
Yeah.
I can pretend for this moment to be like in your arms.
It is as
walking
good
with you.
as it gets with technology right now.
Currently, yes. It helps bridge that horrible distance you have having a long distance relationship. It kind of helps you visualize the person in front of you. You can see he's there. He's real in a sense. He's real. He's there. There's a phenomenon actually called phantom touch. Have you heard of it?
Yes.
So there's different scales of it.
For those who don't know, phantom touch is usually the illusion of thinking that you are receiving physical sensations from something that is not there.
Yes.
It is similar to phantom pain.
Phantom pain, yeah.
Where sadly amputees would still feel pain in their limb that is long gone. And phantom touch is related where a funny example would be if you thought your phone vibrated in your pocket. You swore you felt that, but you check your phone and there's no notification whatsoever. That would be a phantom touch.
I have it with this watch. This watch vibrates a lot when I have a notification, and when I'm not wearing it, I'm like, there's nothing there. I don't have a watch there. Why did I feel it buzz?
So when you reach out and your model touches the hand of your in-game other characters, do you sometimes get so immersed that you feel the touch?
Personally, I do not, but I know and heard accounts of people fully believe that they can feel that it's not merely you touching them, it's them being touched. So I've had issues where, not issues, what's the word? I had accounts where somebody did this to somebody and they freaked out because they honest to God thought they touched them IRL. Or I've had people that could actually feel them being hugged, and everything. Really.
The mind's crazy.
Mine's crazy. There's some people who don't feel it at all, like.
Of course.
And there's some people who really feel it. Like you can, like, jokingly slap somebody in the face. For me, I'm like, oh wow, yeah. But for them, they're like, oh my god, ow. Like, whoa, that wasn't real. It's like, but his body was so susceptible to the VR escape that he could feel it. His mind was like, that hurt.
So another very interesting thing that I've heard about is the private worlds within VR chats. Can you give me some information on that?
Do you want which kind of information?
Whatever you think is most interesting to share.
So, what can I say on this?
Producer, are we 18 plus?
He just did this.
He did the.
Whatever.
Yeah, approve. Okay, I just had to double check because this is going to be the first time as I am aware that we're going to have some adult content.
So that's why I'm like, can I say like NSFW stuff?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
So there is it's not big, but it's known. It's not a hidden fact.
There's active community.
There's an active known community of people who do ERP, which stands for erotic role play. That's what happens behind closed doors, aka private rooms.
So what is the difference between a public world and a private world, or a public room and a private room?
There's not much. So private room is rooms where you can only allow your friends to come in or people you specifically invite. It doesn't have to be sexual or anything. It could be just you and your friends don't want to be bothered by weirdos coming in. You know?
So usually these worlds tend to be invite only, or if you created it, or if you know the people in there.
Yes, you know the people in there, or you quest to come in there, and all that. But there is a big part that is kind of not safe for work, where it's really big. Where there's specific models that do specific things. There are models where they can completely go naked.
Wow.
There's male models that completely erect.
Wow.
People have advanced so much in the game where there is a shader. So shaders are materials, the way the material looks like in game. There's a shader where you can do this, you can go into that, and you can visually see it go in.
Oh.
That's how immersive people want to be.
So two models can physically interact, where the models can interact with each other?
Yes.
That's fascinating. You've managed to design and code models so that certain areas can have like actual interactions with the other?
Yes. There's even like add-ons. It's not allowed really in game, but there's add-ons. Also, the ERP is not even allowed, but won't stop people. Sex sells. Well, there are add-ons where you can things dynamic bones. Dynamic bones is your hair moving, your butt jiggling, your boobs jiggling, like anything that physically moves is called dynamic bones. And you can have colliders, more like colliders, so the thing doesn't clip through my hair, doesn't clip through my shirt, it just stays here. People put it in their hands, and I could physically just jiggle somebody's boob.
Wow.
Somebody else's. Normally, actually you can't do that before. You can only do yourself, you can only touch your own hair. But with add-ons, you can touch somebody else's hair, you can ruffle their hair, you can touch their tail.
Usually your hand would just face through.
Yeah, normally your hands will face through.
But now you can actually interact with somebody else.
Yes, and there's even another add-on I saw recently where it would vibrate your controller, so you can it adds an
haptic feedback.
Gives you an extra haptic feedback. When I touch your hair, I feel you're like, oh,
wow.
And it gives you an extra thing in your brain to be like, I'm touching something for real.
That's amazing. So it's extremely immersive.
Yes, very. It's becoming more as time goes on. It gets more and more immersive. They add more things to make it more real.
Fascinating. And I've seen like brief videos or like contents of people going to strip clubs.
Yes.
In VR chat.
It's really, really common.
And of course, these are the private worlds.
They're private. They're invite only. They're invite only. 18 plus. You have to prove your age, and you have to be in a Discord server.
Oh.
So a whole lot of things, because you can lie and everything, and then you'll get in trouble. Of course, underage, you're gonna get in trouble.
And for those who don't know what a Discord server is, when we're talking about Discord servers, we are talking about these private places in a social media platform called Discord, where people can create quote-unquote servers where people and players can join, talk in chat, and also join voice chats. And usually it is used as a hub and a main communication place for certain communities of certain usually games. And more recently, it has expanded to be a universal platform for just gathering and communication.
And also, it's like an easy place to do podcasts as well.
Yes, you can live stream on Discord. You can share your screen on Discord. It is not necessarily user friendly. You have to be a little bit proficient with knowing how to navigate programs and know how your system works. Yeah. But besides that, you would have to join Discord servers in order to join these private worlds?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes, because, issues with underage problematic people, they want to kind of vet whoever enters. So you need to be approved, you need to get the okay before they even allow you to enter.
Well, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, it stops because in the early things, there was always an issue where there was somebody who was lying, was actually like maybe 16, which was really messed up. So they always want to make sure you are above the age of legal age, mostly 18, before you even allowed in to any club, to any drinking club, party club, not safe for work club, and lap dance clubs.
Amazing. So you would be in a VR room and you would see somebody, quite frankly, jiggle their ass in front of you.
Yep.
And it is in your face.
In your face. It's like right there.
And due to the add-ons that you have previously mentioned, now you can actually slap an ass in game.
Technically, yes. If you have it on, if you have it on, you can literally do whatever you want, really.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
It takes it to a whole new level.
Of course, this is a very, very specific usage of it.
Yes.
But the implications means that if the technology is there for that it can be applied to many other things.
Yeah, of course.
Amazing. But let's get into a little bit more philosophical question.
Yes.
Do you, in your opinion, do you think that the friendships and the relationships that are made within, and the communities that are made, and memories even, within VR chat are genuine?
I think they are. They mostly are. Of course, you have like that one bad egg, you know. It's inevitable.
Even in reality, even in the physical world, we have that.
There's communities that are like so strong together. I know of an old one that I've been in for so long. I don't interact much with them, but I'm still really good friends with them. One of the members passed away.
Oh.
Yes. He had heart surgery and it didn't go well.
Oh, wow. Rest in peace.
Yes. And they took care of each other after that. They took care of they helped raise money for the family to help with all the expenses. Some of them even like flew to where he lived to attend and help the family because they were that so strongly bonded just by playing on a game.
Just by talking to each other in a virtual world. But it is a world nonetheless.
It is a world. It to outsiders, it's just a game. But when you're in there, you're living it. It becomes a part of you in a way. I know people who go there to just go to sleep.
I've heard of this. Yes, people literally just fall asleep and then they try to pull pranks on the sleeper. Yeah.
There's some people go in privates and publics. I don't know why you would do that, but they do that. But mostly you go in private. They go to a world that is made soothing, or there's specific sleeping worlds that are made to be soothing, just to go to sleep because maybe their job is so stressful and they just want to escape. Maybe they live in an area that is very loud outside. Their neighbors loud, and they just. When you wear the headphones, it's kind of canceling. So you just want to escape.
With good headphones, at least.
Good headphones. Okay. You just want to escape. So it brings that escape in a way. To live a different life just for that moment. And forget about the real world until I have to wake up and go back to work.
But I think also it is an interesting place to meet interesting people.
Yes.
You can meet a woman who's currently a giant orc that is 2 stories tall in the game, who tells you about their familial struggles. You can meet a guy who's dressed up like a jack-o'-lantern, just rolling around, and all he wanted to talk about is his amazing pasta for that day.
Yeah. You're never really bored. If you try, you're never really bored in that game. You'll find something weird to talk about. There's always something new, something weird is happening. Just if you're bored, just change the world and be like, "So what you're up to today?" And somebody be like, "Nothing. I just fell off the chair and now my butt hurts." I'm like, nice. You know, it's just like there's always something different. It's entertaining. It's interesting.
But it's still as genuine as you can get.
Yeah.
For the people who've experienced it, at least. Because it is very hard to get a true grasp of how real the social interactions are when you see somebody else do it, when you see it through a screen, right? Which is ironic. You don't get to have a proper knowledge of what it is when you're looking through a screen, and only when you're having the screen in front of your face via the headset can you truly experience it.
You truly feel like
it's funny.
Yeah.
Do you have any closing statements?
For closing statements, it's just like to everybody else, it's a game.
It's a game.
It's a game. It is just a game. But to most people, it helps bridge that loneliness, that lack of communication. Maybe you have anxiety. There's so many people in this game that has some sort of issue, mental, physical, emotional issues that they can like release, and nobody really is there to judge them.
Yeah.
There's somebody there understanding. There's somebody also there having the same issue as you, and they're willing to talk to you.
Yeah.
So you don't really feel truly alone. It's a good coping and a good way to not feel alone in a way.
Are you done?
Oh, yes.
Yes, okay. Just I didn't want to interrupt that. And from what I can tell in VR chats, when everybody can look like anything, where it can be a mech, a puddle, a famous person, a literal ball.
I've been a Ditto once.
You've been Ditto?
Ditto.
So specifically the pink slime
The
Pokemon.
Pokemon, yes.
Yeah. Ditto, wow. Where they can be a horrifyingly photorealistic tree.
Dead by Daylight monster, anything you want to be, really.
The only thing that you can truly judge is one's character.
Is their character.
In that world.
It's how they talk to you, present to you, speak to you, treat you.
How they treat others.
Treat others as well.
When you are in a world where everybody can be can have a appearance of any ridiculousness or mundane thing, the only thing you can judge is their character. And I feel like, or I can think that that leaves for genuine memories to be made, especially since you can play many mini games, you can talk to many people, go to many worlds.
You can watch movies as well.
Wow.
Movies and series, you can watch all of it in there.
And make genuine friendships, make amazing relationships, meet interesting people, meet bad people even. And as fake as a virtual world is, I would argue that the social interactions due to its environment is as real as it can get.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to hear everybody else's thoughts on this. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for coming and telling us about this, giving us insight in this surprisingly advanced game. And thank you for watching. Hope you guys have a nice week. And till next time, have an amazing weekend.
Bye.